You're not doing anything professional at
No,
all.
there's nothing professional happening.
I actually pushed the record button. So, hey, episode 103, Reseller Clickbait Podcast. I'm Ken. I'm Cory. No, I'm not Cory. You're Cory. Cory Grams of Pops. Ken, SSKPromo.
You're way too cheery to be Cory.
Did I say? Yeah, that's for sure. Did I say the episode 103? Almost the end of season 2, I guess, if you're going by that math. So one more episode next week, season 2 finale. We should plan something big and exciting, or not.
It would be like every Netflix series out there that just ends after two seasons.
We should let's have a cliffhanger next week. Next week's show, we'll have a cliffhanger where people will want to come back for season 3. And then, hey, let's just take the summer off too. We'll just take the whole summer off like they do when you watch your favorite shows. And it's like, man.
I could use the summer off.
Anyway, we're okay. We are started. We're here. We're going.
We're here.
Yes. I did. Okay. I need to have a yard sale, Cory. I was out at sales and I keep bringing in all of this stuff and going through things and trying to find, like, not inventory lists. I have tons of inventory, but shuffling through things that I just don't need. It's like, I need to be, one of the lines I always use out at the yard sales is, I should be here. I should be at home having my own yard sale and not here buying all your crap. And
I don't recommend it.
Don't recommend having a yard sale? Well, you had a yard sale.
We just finished ours. Yep.
How did it go? How did it go?
It depends on which ruler you're using to measure the success of the garage sale, I guess. We met one of our goals. So our goals for the garage sale was to pay for the estate sale buyout we did, which we paid $600 for to buy it out. And then our other goal was just to get rid of all the excess.
Yes.
We did pass the point where we paid for the estate sale. So we passed that $600 point.
Okay. So everything else is free money from here.
Yeah, we did not get rid of enough stuff. Like, there was so much stuff.
Okay.
We filled an entire building full of stuff. And as the garage sale was going on for Friday and Saturday, every time a group came through and bought a bunch of stuff, I would grab boxes and boxes of new stuff and bring it over. So at the end, we were still fully stocked.
Did you put that in your you see that in like listings on like Marketplace or whatever, the local Facebook groups for the sales? Constantly bringing out new stuff the whole week. Did you put that in your Marketplace ad?
The downside of this garage sale, if I put my complaining hat on for a minute, the downside of...
I thought you already had it. I thought that's the one you wore every week when you were here.
No, the bad part of this garage sale was mostly timing on our part, because there was 3 big community sales just south of us. Like, the 3 of the bigger community sales that happen around here were going on this weekend.
Okay. But that didn't drag any. So they were outside of your area.
They were like an hour away from us.
So it wasn't dragging people.
It was dragging
if you were on the outskirts. Okay. Boo for that.
So those hit us, which did not help at all. And then it also rained all day Friday, which was not supposed to rain at all, but it started sprinkling, and then it was just off and on rain all day long.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were indoors, but it doesn't matter. That still makes a lot of people just not go to sales.
Okay.
So we had not as much turnout as we needed, not even close. And then it didn't help that the Facebook Marketplace, when we posted our ad for the garage sale, they took our ad down and said that it didn't meet Facebook policy, or it violated some policy of not. They said we weren't selling an item was the policy that we violated.
Would you put in there, like, we have lots of guns and drug paraphernalia and
no,
toxic
it wasn't
chemicals?
They said we weren't selling anything. And it was a garage sale listing. And we even put like $1 in there as a price and all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we matched what everybody else was doing, but they took it down. They took it down like 3 times, and we had to keep making new ones to get it to stay up. And finally one stayed up, but we didn't change anything. We reposted one of our earlier ones.
Yeah.
And it stayed up.
So Marketplace was taking down your yard sale listings, saying that you weren't selling anything.
Yes.
So that was like the main Marketplace. Did you try to put it? Do you have any local groups?
We did put it. Yeah, we put it in when we post on Marketplace, we select to put it in a bunch of the groups. When Marketplace deletes it off of Marketplace for a policy violation, they don't take it out of the groups. So our posting stayed in the original groups.
Okay.
So we were in all the local buy and sell groups, but that's not how people look for garage sales. I mean, they're not looking in there for those. They're going to Marketplace and they're searching for garage sales. So
sometimes, in the local groups, unless I know we have a few local groups around here that are strictly for listing of garage sales, but people, when they're listing like their individual items, they, click down on every one of the local groups. And if you don't have a good like moderator or administrator for those sites, you can't find the good listings. And I know in our area, like my immediate town, like stuff like that GSLR or GASLR, whatever that one app or Yard Sale Treasure Map, people just aren't using that in our area.
Nobody's
when you
using
go
that here.
A little south of us, people are filling it up.
When we're looking for garage sales in our local area, like in the town we live in, we still look in the local classifieds for the newspaper.
Okay.
Because people are posting them in there and they're not putting them on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's Facebook Marketplace and then the local classifieds. We look on the online version of the local classifieds for the papers.
Okay.
In all the little towns around us. And that's about all people are using around here.
So people are still using the newspaper to do their ads. Man, I know my mother still gets the newspaper. As some people do around here, and she'll show me some every now and then, but usually they've posted those on Marketplace or something I've already seen. Or our newspaper is like a conglomerate of a whole bunch of newspapers that are all over the place. And every time there's like this killer sale, multi-family or community sale, and we've got, they put all the good keywords. We've got video games and we've got, all of this stuff, and you're like, oh man, this sale sounds great. And it is every time it's for Marion, Indiana.
Oh no.
And I don't live in Marion, Indiana.
We could.
I live in Marion, Ohio. And I could. But so every time in the local newspaper, I don't know, they get that stuff screwed up just because it says Marion. But
we did like when we see the sales, when we're looking on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and we see a sale that lists out like all the reseller trigger words, the video games, the vintage t-shirts, the high-end tennis shoes. When they start listing it out like that, we don't go to those sales. We ignore them. Like we'll purposely take them off the list. That's going to draw every reseller in a tri-state area.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably a reseller doing the sale, or they wouldn't even know to put those in there.
Yes.
So it's picked through garbage to begin with. So we just don't even go to those.
Yeah. It's, or the people are showing, if the sale starts at 8 a.m.
to those sales. That's kind of how we decided never to go to them anymore. Is we used to like get up and go early to try and get to those ones. Because we were like, it's like the magic sale made for resellers. We've been to those where they put them in the paper and you get there and it's somebody's house and they didn't even they're not having a sale. Like somebody just put that on Marketplace.
They just needed friends. They needed friends and somebody to show up. Maybe they were going to have, I guess if they list items that you should bring for like a cookout, maybe they're just wanting some. it's a potluck. Oh, a potluck garage sale. Wait a minute. Let me think that through. Could have people bring over. No, it's not. We talked about that with always afraid to buy the cookies and the stuff.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. We're having kind of a potluck this weekend. We're having our Midwest Redneck Triathlon this weekend.
Oh, that's this weekend already?
That's this weekend, yep.
And that's what, a big family and friends event that you have that...
Yeah, we invite everybody that's on our Facebook friends list pretty much. I mean, if they're family or friends and they can make it, we invite everybody. So
yeah,
we play like horseshoes and bean bags and axe throwing. And then we have a trophy for each event. We play brackets. And then we have a trophy for each event. And then through the brackets, there's a scoring system. So at the end, there's an overall. So we barbecue.
Okay.
And then everybody else just brings a salad or dessert or side or whatever.
I thought, now you're just bragging, I provide all them. I was loading up here. You would say, I want to go your yard sale. We loaded up a picture here. This was your all of your inventory in your. Now, is this building? This a extra garage? This where you keep your tractors and all of that stuff?
Nope. This is just, it's a extra building on the property. So it's 40 by 60.
Okay.
And we just filled that thing to the brim for the garage sale. We had it packed pretty full. That's usually if we buy a buyout, like an estate sale, this is the first one we did, or a storage unit or something like that.
Okay.
We bring it home and we park the trailer in that building as we process it, just to keep it out of the elements so we don't bring it into the eBay shop. So it's kind of a staging area for us.
Man, see, that would be great. I guess that's one of those things, everybody has a different situation. I would love to have a great big building that was just like extra. Of course, I suppose, anytime I have an extra little space or a corner or whatever, it just immediately gets filled up with stuff that gets forgot about after a while. I'm going to throw that picture back up.
You bring a couple of storage units into this building, and it very, very quickly becomes overwhelming. Like, space can be a curse too.
True. I know if I had more space, I'd get more stuff. So this is all stuff that you got from like estate sales or storage units or something like that.
Yep, this is the leftover, the stuff we didn't list on eBay from our last 2 storage units and the recent estate sale purchase. So it's 3 different big buys. Whatever we didn't pull out for eBay, that went on the garage sale.
And
so there's so much stuff there.
is that pre-sale or post-sale, or is that
picture is? I think that picture is pre-sale.
Okay.
But it looks pretty much the same now.
It's still got
it didn't change the looks of it very much, because as we were doing the sale, I was bringing stuff in the whole time. Like we had boxes. We had probably 2 pickup loads full of boxes of stuff that we couldn't fit. We literally didn't have enough room. Okay. So as stuff sold, we would just be piling new stuff in all the time throughout the day. We did get everything finally at the last couple hours of the sale. We emptied the rest of our boxes, so everything we have is now in there, but it still pretty much looks just like that.
Now, you were telling me before, you did everything, you did like $1 sale, no matter what it was. Everything was $1.
Yep, everything was $1 unless it was marked otherwise, but there was very few items that were marked otherwise. It was like a couple pieces of big furniture, like that big adjustable bed. There's a big adjustable bed in the back. And it's like a $2,500 bed and a brand new mattress still in the plastic and everything. So we didn't put $1 on that, but pretty much everything else was $1.
Okay.
So we did everything we could. When people showed up, they were leaving with boxes of stuff. Like we were loading them up. We had extra bags and boxes. People were buying a lot of things.
Yeah.
Problem is, we just had so many things and we didn't have enough people show up.
Yeah. Which I guess that makes it easy when everything's $1, except for those couple items. When everything's $1, it's just like, it's easy to tally it up at the end. You don't have to mark it. You don't have to, because we all know my thoughts on going to a yard sale where the stuff is not marked. I like to have prices on things.
But we had signs hanging up all over the walls that just said everything's $1.
Okay. Oh, you should have made it. You should have made it.
And we were telling them, and we will negotiate. So everything's $1, but we'll take less.
Yes, if they get a big old box of it or whatever. Now you should have. So if you run the next sale, are you going to do it like $1.25? You're going to raise it up on us like the Dollar Tree did, or it's like now the dollar store, $1.25 store.
That's the problem right now. Is do we have a next sale? We kind of got. The timing was horrible. Like I said, we had the 3 community sales pulling people away from an hour away from us. And then we had the rain all day Friday, which kept people in. And then Facebook Marketplace kept deleting our ads, saying we were violating their policy of not selling anything.
Yeah, that's just kooky.
And now at this point, we're like, man, I don't know if we want to have another sale. I heard somebody in one of the Discord groups talking about they were having trouble with Marketplace doing the same thing this weekend.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's something new they're doing, something automated that's happening. We even asked for a manual. You can ask for a manual review.
Yeah.
We did that. And they were like, nope, you're not selling anything. It's violating the policy. So we did
that would stink.
Yeah. It sucks to have an actual garage sale when we're rural. We're not in town. So it's not like we get drive-by traffic either. We're on the country. True. So we have to market it somehow. And about a quarter of the way into the second day, and we weren't getting a lot of traffic, we actually switched the ad up, figuring because the community sales were pulling so many people away, we would try and get a different crowd out. So I grabbed a bunch of my plants and put them out in front of the building, and then we put an ad out for a plant sale / garage sale. And we did get kind of a rush from that.
Oh, did you sell out all the plants?
We didn't, because when I put them out there, I marked them way up because I didn't want to sell the plants.
Okay. Yeah, we had.
So we sold a few plants. I marked them up quite a bit higher than people would want to pay for them in most cases, because I really didn't want to sell them. I just wanted to drag the plant people there so they could shop the garage sale. And that did seem to work. We sold a few plants, but we got people there. That was the main thing.
Yeah. The old bait and switch. Corey's pulling on them. The old bait. Yep. Hey, man, well, let's go get all these plants. And it's like, oh, we got $1 crap at
scammed a bunch of old ladies. The thing is, nobody left disappointed. They were all happy because they got to come and buy a bunch of stuff they didn't need.
That's true, which is every weekend during yard sale season that I end up doing. I don't need this, but I'm going to buy it anyway. So you said you weren't sure if you were going to have another sale, or so what are you going to do? There's the question. What are you going to do with all of this stuff then? That's the extra, because doing the estate sale cleanouts or the storage units, you get the good with the bad. And so I guess that's a question to anybody that's out there listening. What would you do with all this extra inventory? You know, you could donate it. You could load it all up and box it all up. I think that's
the obvious is we donate it. We dump it in the dumpster. We have a giant bonfire and just burn it all. Like, there are options to get rid of it. And at some point, all three of those are going to start looking very appealing.
Yeah. But
I do think we still have, I think there's enough like items in there. Like, we have 3 or 4 tables of just Christmas stuff. I think we could probably just put all the Christmas stuff together and put it on Marketplace as a lot for $20 and just have somebody come get it.
So it's already been, obviously if you're just putting it out there for $1, you've already determined that it's not listable or not something that would have good value.
Some of it has decent
time.
Yeah, some of it has really decent value. It either didn't have good value, like it just wasn't worth very much. It didn't have a sell-through rate on eBay, which means it has good value, but nobody wants it. or it was too big to ship. It was something we just didn't want to ship.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of different reasons stuff landed on there, but basically it boiled down to it's all stuff we would not sell on eBay.
Okay. Maybe you take that tractor of yours. Do you have like a backhoe for the tractor?
I don't.
Just dig a great big hole out on, the property, like way out at the back. Just dig a big hole, then just go into the garage and
just fill it with plastic.
Just scoop up, everything and just go dump it in that hole. I think that's what
we're not far off of that. Honestly, we're not far off of that. I know Teresa's sick of it. She got to man the garage sale because she says I'm not good with people, so she sent me away for most of it.
Really? I wonder where she gets that.
She thought I was making shoppers nervous. Like, they'd come in, and when I was out there, they would just leave faster than normal. So she sent me in.
I can see that.
There was a few times I went in. I was playing house husband this weekend during the garage sale. I went in and I made us lunch. So I boiled up a pot of water and made some Kraft mac and cheese and hot dogs.
Yes. It's cheesy. Hey, it's the cheesiest.
That's the brand. That's the one we made.
That's really the only brand that you should have in your cupboard anyway.
I brought that out to her, so she was thankful for that. And then I was trying to be a little extra Betty Crocker. So I decided for supper that night, I was going to make dessert so that when we got done, we could have our supper and then there'd be a nice dessert in the fridge. Okay. And I'm a big fan of banana pudding. Like the banana pudding with like the vanilla wafers on it.
The vanilla, yeah. Oh yeah, that stuff is great.
So the day before, I knew I was going to do that. So the day before, I had Teresa pick up some bananas. Well, it was like 3 or 4 days before. I had her pick up some bananas and bring them home so they could ripen out, because around here, all we're getting is like really green bananas.
All right.
So she talked to her sister and learned a trick to ripen them faster, which I had never heard about before. She said put them in like the Walmart, the plastic bag, and tie them shut and put them up in the window. That's what she told Teresa.
Like in the sun, so they get kind of warm and
I've heard of putting them up in the windowsill before. Like we've done that. I've never heard of putting them in a bag and putting them in the window.
Okay.
So she told her to do that. So long story long, we took those bananas out of the windowsill to make banana pudding. We, as in the royal we, I did.
So you okay?
I got
to make the special dessert. Fortune surprise Teresa special dessert after the yard sale. You come in, you have them. Okay.
I got everything ready and made all the pudding and all the Nilla wafers were laid out, and I started building that thing, and then I go to cut up the bananas and put them in there. The bananas cooked in that bag. They looked fine on the peel. They looked like they ripened up and got yellow on the peel, but when you opened them up, they were mush. It cooked the dang bananas in the windowsill. So now I have all this banana pudding I couldn't eat and no bananas.
You couldn't still just eat the pudding? Like you could have
I refused on principle.
You could have used it like a dip. Like you could have just dipped the Nilla wafers in chips, like chips and dip.
No, it made me angry, and it went in the garbage can. The principle alone, if you can't eat messed up banana pudding, you just can't do it.
So what I'm taking away from this story is don't take culinary advice from Teresa's sister. No,
Teresa's sister, I think, was playing a joke on us or something, and Teresa needs to stop listening to her.
We can edit that part out to make your life a little bit easier.
No, we'll leave that in. Listen, Tara, if you're listening to this episode, don't put bananas in a bag. I've never had cooked bananas like that before. It wasn't good.
Oh, you could have made, what's that one? You could have made some like bananas Foster, or what's that stuff called? It's like they caramelize the bananas in sugar, like they cook them like you cut them and they're not already mushy, and then they put ice cream on it. Is that what bananas Foster? Is that what that? We should look that up sometime.
Well, I gave it my best effort, but when you peel a banana, and you can usually grab the banana and like break it in half and eat it.
Yeah.
If you tried to peel that banana and then break it in half, your fingers just went all the way through the banana. It just like it was so gross. It's just a banana peel full of snot.
It's like that peach I found under Jill's car seat one time. We were at the gas station, filling the gas station. Yeah, I don't know how she had a peach under the front seat of her car, but we were going on a trip. We were filling up with gas or whatever, and I was like, just cleaning out some of the trash. I was going to like sweep in the car, and so I reached back under the seat to get like if there was any trash that rolled back there, and my hand just grabbed onto something and and it was a peach that somehow was under her, and it just smushed, and the outer whatever, the shell, what's on the outside of the peach, the skin. Yeah, I guess it's not a shell. You're not but it must have been holding in the rotten, overripe smell. Yeah, the funk, if you will. Because when I squished into that, it released this odor, and now my hand is just like all filled with gooey peach. And now you have to try to get it cleaned out from under the seat. Okay, there again, not only
like a I don't know. I'm trying to picture. I'm pretty sure I would have looked like a foul-mouthed Statue of Liberty if that happened. I'd be running around outside with my hand in the air, just cursing. Like, son of a...
Where's some fire that I can stick? I need to stick my hand in an open flame or something like that.
Looking for somebody's faucet outside to rinse off in. We went back to food this episode.
We just offended Tara and Jill in this episode.
Tara deserves it. I don't care. Tara, we're not even talking at this.
The great banana fiasco of 2024.
That's one thing with me and food. If you ruin my food, we're done talking for a little while. You have to make amends. So I'm going to have a good banana pudding before we're on good terms again.
Well, don't go to like the Chinese buffet and get the banana pudding there, because number one, I'm not sure how all of the desserts at the Chinese, but how they can take, there's no flavor. Everything looks like really good. They have all those little squares of like cakes and desserts, and they'll have like banana pudding there, and there's no flavor to it.
There's lots of flavor in it. The problem is you eat all that salty Chinese food that you just coat your tongue in salt, and then you can't taste anything else.
Oh, maybe I should get dessert first the next time.
Dessert first. It'll be here this weekend. Tara, if you're watching this before you come down for Redneck Days, bring banana pudding, and maybe we can make up. But until then,
wait.
It's over.
Yep, it always comes back to food. So I got like kind of a resellery thing. We'll switch gears here. Shout out to Logan. In this
Logan Paul?
episode.
Like the Mike Tyson fight?
No. Just Logan. I don't know Logan's last name. Logan is a fella that I met at the post office on Saturday, because Jill and I did a Whatnot show on Friday evening. We've been doing those kind of regularly on Friday evenings, because that's the best time that Jill can be there with her schedule. And so this was like a Father's Day sort of an episode, and Father's Day is next weekend. This episode will come out on Monday. So if you're watching it, Father's Day, shout out to.
I got in on that episode, but I didn't like it.
You didn't like our Whatnot episode?
I didn't like.
Well, that was good for me. That was good for us. Yeah, we had
like a lot of the things that are good for Kim in this life are not things that I like. It's a growing trend.
Cory doesn't like anything, but self-promotion there is Friday from a big citywide garage sale that we're going to, and we're actually going to do a show live from like the hotel room, and we got this game. We're going to do a challenge and stuff against one another, rather than
game show.
Who can pick the better items based on categories, and
that's not
we'll actually be buying them. Well, it will be. As if I win, it'll be a game show, and if I lose, I'm sure technically Jill will have won. I'll work somewhat, but anyway, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about because I was at the post office on Saturday, because I wanted to get everything shipped. That's what I had promised everybody. It's like, I can't guarantee that the delivery services, in this case, mostly the postal service, I can't guarantee that they're going to get it to you. All I can do is guarantee that I will ship it on Saturday, and everybody should get it, because a lot of stuff goes priority mail, and it's all, US. I didn't have any foreign or,
what day is Father's Day?
Customer.
Is that like the 14th?
Next Sunday. Yeah, I think it's the 14th. Let's look. No, it is the 16th.
Okay.
It is the 16th of June. So we'll be recording on Father's Day.
Nice.
So we'll bring it up then. So anyway, I'm at the post office, and I'm, loading up all my packages onto the counter, because I like to get it. If I'm going to go to the post office, I want to get all the packages scanned. I want to get that receipt. I want to make sure. And the way that Whatnot works is, once the packages are actually scanned at the post office, it registers it in Whatnot as far as it's in the shipping process. But there's a younger fella. This is Logan. Is at the window right beside me, and he's got a couple of packages. And in the end, it turns out that he had sold these packages on eBay, and he's relatively new eBay seller, from talking to him. But he had made the comment to the postal employee there that he's like, "Oh, I guessed that one right," or whatever. And he was saying how he goes on the shipping calculator, the eBay shipping calculator, to look up what the postage might be and stuff, even though he offers like calculated shipping or whatever. Here's the point of the whole story, though, is that Logan was buying his postage for his eBay shipments at the counter of the post office.
Oh no, Logan.
And I don't want to beat him, because I also did talk to him, and we're going to try to work a deal on the side. So I gave him my number, but I also gave him a sticker pack, and he wasn't familiar at all. He didn't know that there was a whole YouTube reseller community. And so, naturally I was like, well, some of the best channels out there.
He was living a blessed life, and you ruined that for him.
Yeah. The best channels out there: SSKPromo, the Reseller Clickbait Podcast, Grams of Pops Vintage. You got to go watch all of these channels.
I didn't realize you meet a lot of people at the post office.
It seems that way.
and you interact with it.
Because I'm a social person.
Nobody ever
Cory.
talk to you about stranger danger?
No, everybody else talked to everybody else about stranger danger. I think I'm the stranger usually in the.
How have you not been in more white vans?
Well, that's a whole nother episode, Cory. How do you know? How do
Because
you
not
know?
everybody.
You don't know my upbringing. You don't know. Hey,
Ken's driving the van now.
I enjoyed candy. I enjoyed candy as a kid. Now I only get in a van if somebody has Kraft macaroni and cheese. But so the postal employee was telling this kid, I think that you can get postage cheaper on like through eBay, that they have discounts and you get commercial pricing. And then so the postal employee just like turns to me. I'm still at the other counter. He turns to me. He's like, I'm right about that, right? You can get, the postage cheaper and the labels, and because it was always a difficult, I guess, when he brings in packages, because the postal employees now have to do something. They have to enter things into the keyboard. They have to weigh them.
Was this a charitable act on his behalf, or was he just lazy? He wanted somebody to buy postage elsewhere.
No, our postal employees are great. I don't care if there's a long line. I don't care if it's like fourth quarter, 2 weeks before Christmas when everybody's, the lobby's lined up out to the door. I'll put my postal staff up against anybody's postal staff. Just super great people. But I thought it was cool that, he just kind of pointed at me and said, like almost like, hey, maybe you can help this kid out. And so we got to talking in the lobby then, and the kid was just like a sponge, sucking up everything that not that I'm the greatest person to give, advice. And I told him, everybody does it different stuff, but I explained to him about buying his labels on eBay, or initially I didn't know they were eBay. I was telling him about Pirate Ship, how we could get on there and get the commercial rates. But then when they were eBay packages, I was like, man, you got to start buying your labels on eBay. And I explained a little bit to him about calculated shipping and, free shipping and different options. I didn't like hit everything. And I kept referring him to, go out, type in, how to sell on eBay or whatever. Go ahead to find some of these places on YouTube to watch videos about stuff and learn.
It's so easy to forget that at some point, before we started doing this, we didn't know we could buy shipping labels. Like, we didn't know you could get them discounted. And we would have went to the post office to buy them at one point too. It would have been long before we did eBay, but at some point we were at that stage too. It's hard to remember back to making that mistake, but yeah, that's a huge money saver.
Yeah, and so he was excited. Well, and then I got to thinking, it's like, super nice kid, super excited about, telling me some of the things that he has found, that he has sold. It's, I bought this tool that he was talking about for $2 and I sold it for like $50, like right away it sold. Yep. And he also does like flea market. There's a local flea market that he goes to and he sets up there and sells, and then also sells some stuff on eBay. But yeah, I got to thinking, it's like, first, that's almost like if I were putting together a handbook for how to sell on eBay, I mean, chapter 1, paragraph 1, verse 1 is probably going to be
figure out shipping.
Don't buy your postage at the counter at the post office. That's such a, and I talked about how you could, if you're doing calculated shipping, the buyers are going to see based on their area what that shipping is. But if you're using eBay labels, you're probably going to pay a little less with that discount. And that helps pay for a box or bubble wrap or something like that.
I'm trying to remember when we set up our eBay, when we actually got serious and we went in and set up shipping and all that stuff on eBay. It's almost hard not to buy it. Like, eBay tries to get you to buy the labels on eBay. It's hard to. Yes. You'd almost have to take an extra effort to pay more at the post office instead of just doing it on eBay.
To not do it. Yeah. I mean, I assume I didn't see his packages to see what sort of labeling or addressing or whatever he had on it. I don't know. I don't want to say something that isn't true. Case Logan is watching. What's up, Logan? They did, like I said, gave him a sticker pack and told him to check it out. But it brought up the thing when we were talking. It's like you don't know until you know.
Yep.
And
you don't know what you don't know.
That might make a good title for this episode. You had said something earlier. I thought, oh, that'd be a good title, and I forget what it was. Oh, I was talking about right before I couldn't keep. It's like I think my ear hole got bigger. I'm not sure. I keep having trouble. I don't know with this earpiece.
Yeah, the older we get, the more things sag, Ken.
So that they do. Again, another show. What's that? But yeah, you don't know these things until you know. And he was super excited. Some of the things that I was telling him, I could just see his brain registering, all of this stuff and just simple questions that he asked, like when I was talking about that savings that you might get in the postage, that helps pay for a box or some bubble wrap or tape or whatever. And he's like, I want to ask you a question. He said, can you write that stuff off as far as those supplies are? And I was like, oh yeah, most definitely anything that you buy for your reselling business, if you have to buy boxes or poly mailers, any of that stuff.
Matter of fact, if he had given you $5 right there, he could have wrote off that conversation.
See, maybe I should set up a booth at the post office. Like Lucy on Charlie Brown, where she has like psychiatric help, like 5 cents. I could just put like eBay help, $5, or just put a donation bucket there. Like, because I always
I'm gonna steal your thunder.
Yard sales.
We're gonna co-op that effort. We are, as a podcast now, going to offer paid consulting.
we are okay.
Which is, I'll get some kind of a paywall set up, and we'll offer paid consulting where you're allowed to ask us one question a week, and we will give you a personalized answer suited only for your question.
So, put your questions down below. And it does it have to be reselling, or can they just ask any question?
It could be about Santa Claus. It doesn't matter. But
okay,
we will answer.
I'll answer those ones,
and it will be no more and no less than $100 a question.
Ooh, that's pretty steep. I think if we actually lowered that.
How much would you pay to get Santa Claus's secrets?
Well, I know Santa Claus's secrets, so I would pay anything. Man, $100. That's not. Yeah, okay. So we'll
don't sell yourself short.
A paid portion of the, what is that, like the membership or the Patreon or something like that.
Fine, we'll drop it a little bit. How about $1?
Okay, $1. But hey, you know what they say, the first one's free. If you're a good
the first one's
businessman, we'll say you're a good businessman out there. So the first one's free. Throw down in the comments your question, any question. You can direct it personally towards Cory or towards me, and we will answer them. Maybe we'll answer them on air. Maybe that could be the season 2 finale. That'll be the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger next week will be the best question that we get in the chat, and we'll ask the question.
You know what? We could switch this up. We could do a live. We could do a live, and then you have to super chat $1 to ask the question.
Oh, that would work too.
I'm trying to get this whole greedy corporate thing going, and you're really putting a downer on things.
Because I'm a nice guy, Cory. I want to just be helpful. Well, it felt good to me too to answer this fella's questions, that he was having, and then we just BS, just shooting the shit about reselling, and again, he was excited about the things that he found, and he also does have multiples of a certain product. He had bought a whole bunch of, it's something like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, some sort of like bracelets or something. I forget exactly what he said, but he has a whole bunch of them, and they're not moving for him. And so he's supposed to, I gave him my information. He's supposed to send me out, show me what he has, and we might make a deal on these, which might be one of those good multiple listing items like that you talk about, that you want to.
Sounds like more of my product than your product.
The Grinch, yes. I would send these all to Cory, and you can do all the tests.
Like I joke, I'm not a big people person in general. Out in public, I'm not talking to a lot of people. But when I do run into another reseller, there is something cool about finding somebody you have something in common with like that.
Yes.
So it is kind of cool to find another reseller out in the wild.
Well, you were telling me a story about your postal employee that came to your yard sale.
Yeah, we sold him a pipe.
Sold him a crack pipe?
Not a crack pipe. It was
no, okay. I don't know. There again, we talked about maybe you listed drug paraphernalia or something in your marketplace ad, and that's why they kept taking it down. Okay, these were just regular
He's
smoking
a collector.
pipes.
Yeah, he's a collector of the old-fashioned like tobacco smoking pipes.
Okay.
And we had just bought
one that this guy has right here.
One like that. Yep.
Okay.
We had actually just bought a box of them at a garage sale. And he was out here at our garage sale with his grandkids, and it came up, and I showed him what we had, and we ended up selling him one. But that's just part of having that good relationship with your postal worker. Like, yeah, I would say of all the relationships in a reselling community you can have, the one with your post office is probably the most important.
Oh yeah, yes, 100%.
Like, that's huge. Now we know he's a collector of pipes and a wealth of information. He told me all about the other ones I had, and I had no idea what they were. And I know he's a collector, so I have a source if I ever need information. But I also have a source that said he would buy the pipes that we do pick up if we want to sell them without the fees and listings and all that other stuff. So, and it's the end user, it's not a reseller, so he's willing to pay up for them. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point too. That relationship, everybody talks about networking and finding everybody has a guy that they can, go to that might help with inventory or whatever. Now I have a pipe guy.
Now you have a pipe guy, but also you have a more of a personal relationship, I guess you'd say, with one of the main postal employees. Yes, that relationship with your post office, whether you go to the counter and you're dropping off packages, whether, some people I see take their stuff around back and they can round the back of the post office and they can stack it up on carts or whatever. Or if you have also a lot of people that have the pickup right at their house, they schedule that pickup, and that postal employee that's going to come to your house every day and almost know that they're going to have to fill up the back of their truck. To take care of those folks and to really build those relationships with the shipping. It
makes things a lot easier when things do go wrong. You got somebody in your corner at the place. I know Teresa, that's one of the benefits of having a partner in this. With Teresa, she's really good at caring about what other people say. Like, she'll listen to them.
Okay.
And she remembers their birthdays. She remembers their spouse's birthdays when they took a day off because it was their wife's birthday or a kid's birthday or a grandkid's birthday. And then the next time she's in and it's around that time, she'll tell them to tell their wife happy birthday or their kids or grandkids. Like, she's really good at that.
Oh, wow. She is
so it's
deep
great to have
into the relationship thing.
Yep. It's great to have an extra person to help nurture that side.
And how is it that you guys get along?
Opposites attract.
That must be what it is. Yeah. Because, if you're remembering birthdays of the postal employees.
I don't even remember my birthday.
Wait. I don't remember your birthday either, Cory.
Well, that's good.
When is your birthday?
Makes it easier. See, if you don't remember the day and you don't have to celebrate, that's one less thing you got to do.
And you don't get any older. Let's pretend. Let's pretend today is Cory's birthday. This is Cory's birthday show. Let's put a bunch of happy birthdays down in the comments. Happy birthday, Cory. That I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I did think about you.
Stop talking to you.
I did.
Trying to throw me under the bus.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. Hey, sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade.
Oh.
You're very curmudgeon-y.
You'll know when it's my birthday. It'll be the one show a year where I'm smiling.
Because what on your birthday? Why are you smiling on your birthday?
Just because I get to pick whatever we have for dinner.
Oh, and it'll be decent banana pudding, I imagine, this year rather than a cake. You want non-mushy,
non-bagged up bananas like some kind of psychopath who puts bagged bananas in a window.
Tara, apparently.
Tara,
hey, she don't keep them under her car seat, so you got that going for you.
They probably would have been better.
I'm going to beat a dead horse here because this is something I think we talked about last weekend, but I was chuckling to myself. I was at a yard sale, and it was one of those situations where the parking on the street, you couldn't park on the opposite side of the street. You had to park on the side of the street that the sale was. And I was, of course, every time okay. Everybody else here, when you're following along with a yard sale, like on the GPS, isn't it always on the opposite side of the street? It's like your destination is ahead on the left. And it's like, why can't it be on the right every time? So I can just pull up out front and go to the sale. But
you could walk across the street. That's fine.
Well, okay. So this particular sale, there was no parking on the opposite side of the street. And of course I'm going that way, and there's not going to be really like a convenient place to turn around. It was a nicer neighborhood. And so there's some of the people's lawns, like if they have like a really nice, it's a neighborhood where there's no curbs along the street, but their yard is like really nice and manicured. And you don't want to do that, like that yard sale parking thing where you park halfway in the yard, you kind of get your tires off the road, and you don't want to like mess up their grass. I always like the neighbors that know that there's going to be a yard sale next door. And so they tape off out in front of their place so that you can't pull in front of your yard. But anyway, this was a situation where I had to pull into the driveway. Well, I have to?
Had to.
I don't know if it was had to, but, and it was just a bad, I felt bad pulling into the driveway because I'm pulling in and I can only pull in so much. Because then all of their yard sale stuff. Well, I wasn't right up against the yard sale stuff, but it was.
Did their yard sale get in your way?
Yes, they got in the way of my park. But I was. Then now I'm also parked completely across the sidewalk, and you're not allowed to park your car across the sidewalk. You got to allow pedestrians to come through. No. And but it's like I'm only going to be here. What?
This is a hot topic. We talked a little bit about parking the driveways last week. And it had me so fired up when we got done. I couldn't let it go. We recorded our videos the next day.
Okay.
And we recorded a video. It dropped yesterday if you want to go watch it. And a big part of that video was us ranting about driveway parkers. You in specific on part of it. If you pull up to a garage sale and there's 10 cars parked around and none of those 10 cars is parked in the driveway, does it not give you pause even for a minute to think, why not? Why is no one else parking in the driveway, but it's okay for me to park there?
I always think it's how considerate it was of the people to leave me a spot so I could get up.
You're a psychopath.
So you're calling me out on this week's. I'll have to watch. Well, because that'll be an episode.
Not just you. I'm calling out everybody. And
everybody.
We will probably get demonetized in this video because we got fired up. There were some curse words.
Uh-oh.
Some
directed
things
towards
that
me.
We're not going to take back.
So yeah, I just had I almost stepped back a little bit and took a picture and sent it to you because I would have
blocked your number.
I was even appalled by my parking at this sale. It's like, Ken, you didn't need to do that. And then I ended up, it's like, then I didn't buy anything. They had a couple, it was one of those sales where like all the kind of general stuff that we'll say was all decent price. It was $1, it was $2, it was 50 cents. It was, regular, but it was nothing that I wanted. But of course, the items that I did want, there was a couple of cameras, like digital cameras and stuff that were older cameras, but they got like $40 on them. Well, they had like eBay prices on a couple of cameras, and they had something else I was looking at that they valued much more than, well, again, if you were looking for it on eBay, their sale was a good price, but not for reseller.
You know why that happened?
But
that was karma.
It was. They karma. Probably changed it once I pulled in the driveway. So because we had talked about it last week.
You're like one of those people that actually likes other people, and you care what people think of you, and you want people to like you.
Yes.
Imagine, I'm telling you right now, all those other 10 people parked at the curb that are seeing you parking that driveway, they're all thinking, you lousy SOB. You horrible, horrible psychopath of a person. They're judging you.
I'm getting it. They are. Well, I was judging myself too. I just, as soon as I got out of the car, it's like, I shouldn't be parking here. But
you know how many times we've taken a picture? Like we see somebody pull up when we park at a curb that's a block and a half away because all the parking's taken up, and walk to the garage sale. We get up there and somebody pulls in the driveway. I can't tell you how many times we've taken a picture of that guy to post in a group just to make fun of him, or hear Teresa cursing under her breath all the way up there. Like,
it's well,
people are not good.
And
that's not.
And
good.
I didn't have the opportunity because that would have been a sale too, where I would have parked across the front of the drive. I would have parked the driveway, and nobody's going to be pulling in and out of the drive, so I'll park across the driveway.
So you think everybody else that's at the sale saved that spot for you? Just because nobody's going to pull in the drive, they saved that spot just for SSK driveway parker.
I'm painting myself into a bad light because I am not that
you didn't
guy.
Paint yourself there. You jumped in the bucket of paint.
I'm very considerate of other people's stuff, but every now and then when the situation happens, and then I crack myself up thinking about our conversation last week, and then come to find out on Grams and Pops did a whole episode to bash me.
I'm way too self-aware to park in a driveway. If I park in a driveway, I have to go do penance somewhere like a Catholic or something. I couldn't do it. As soon as I got out of the car, I'd be looking around for who's judging me. And
that's guilty this week. But so we don't need to beat that one. If you want
to hear more driveway parking, there is an episode on Grams and Pops that dropped yesterday where we severely we beat on Ken for a little while over there about it. And we talk about some other garage sale no-nos too. So go check that out. But just be warned, don't bring the kids with you.
Well, see, I get the sneak peek. Not necessarily did I get something early, but we record on Sundays and that episode drops today. So I'll get to watch it before this one comes out. Maybe we need to do a follow-up. I should do a rebuttal video. Well, no, I can't really.
You should do an apology tour. You should go back to that lady's house and pay for parking.
They should put in meters up there that
I want to put in tack strips down on the driveway so when people pull up there, they just go home with flat tires.
It was just another situation that I don't know. It just cracked me up. But all right, Cory, I think that's enough. That's enough for the week. Unless did you have anything else on your notes that?
My notes? I don't have much for notes, but no, I think, and we're right at the hour marks here. So if this episode does nothing but make one person feel bad about parking in a driveway, I think we've done our job here today. And Logan gets to buy his labels from eBay now. So
yes,
I think we've done some good work here today.
I think and going forward, put the first one's free. Put those questions down in the chat. Or not in the chat. I always call it the chat. Put the comments down in the comment, and we'll answer any question on the season 2 finale next week of the Reseller Clickbait Podcast. And I guess we'll end on enjoy your birthday today, Cory, and happy birthday, my friend.